Logan adjusted the seal on his helmet, his boots sinking into the soft alien soil as he stepped deeper into the glowing tunnels below the surface. The cave lights flickered above him, blue crystals humming faintly like they were alive. He was the last human left in the tunnel crew, sent to double-check the safety systems before the alien engineers sealed the lower section. He hated tight spaces, but duty was duty. A soft breeze brushed his visor, and the lights suddenly dimmed. He paused, looking around. "Control, you there?" he asked through his comm, but only static answered him. Something was wrong. The ground shook. Once, then again, harder. A deep rumble echoed around him like a beast growling in its sleep. Before he could move, the floor cracked, crystals shattered like glass, and then the ceiling came crashing down. Logan shouted, diving to the side, but the impact knocked him flat. Rocks slammed into his side, his helmet cracked slightly, and the lights above went black. Dust filled his lungs. Then silence. He coughed hard and blinked through the red emergency glow of his helmet. His head throbbed and his arm wouldn't move. The entrance behind him, gone, blocked by tons of stone. He was trapped. "Control, this is Logan." He tried again. "I'm underground, tunnel collapse. Oxygen system is damaged." Still nothing. He checked the system panel. 2 hours of air left, no signal, no food, no water. He sat back, heart racing, breath short. He had to stay calm. Humans had survived worse, he told himself. Then he heard it. A soft rustle, a breath. His blood froze. Was something else down here? He turned, crawling toward the sound. A faint purple glow came from a crack in the wall. He reached it, widened the gap, and gasped. There, curled in the corner, was an alien girl. She was small, delicate, with skin like moonlight, and long silver hair floating slightly as if in water. She looked hurt, her breathing shallow. She blinked at him slowly, her eyes wide and bright. When she spoke, it was soft, broken English. "You... human?" Logan nodded slowly. "Yes, I'm human. You're not alone, okay?" She winced in pain. "Big shake, walls fall. I can't move legs." He crawled closer, careful not to scare her. "I'm Logan," he said. "What's your name?" "Alari," she whispered. "We stuck?" He looked around at the rubble, the red warning lights flashing low, and the cracked support beams groaning above. "Yes," he said quietly. "We're trapped." And deep down, he knew they were running out of time. But there was something in her eyes. Fear, yes, but something else too. Something she wasn't telling him yet, and whatever it was, it might be the only thing that could save them both. Logan stayed close to the glowing crack in the tunnel wall, watching Ilari breathe slowly. Her skin gave off a soft, gentle light, just enough for him to see her face. She looked weak, but not scared of him. He found that strange. Most aliens he had met avoided humans or kept their distance. But she kept her eyes on him, like she was waiting for something. The silence in the tunnel pressed down heavy, like a blanket of stone. Every now and then, the ground gave a soft groan, like the earth was still shifting above them. His oxygen was still leaking, air pressure dropping slowly. Ilari noticed the beeping sound from his wrist device. "Bad?" she asked, voice thin. Logan nodded. "Not much time," he said. "We need a way out." But there was no path, just broken walls, cracked stone, and this tiny pocket of space. He checked her legs. One was badly bruised, maybe fractured. "You can't walk," he muttered, more to himself. She shook her head. "No, but I can help." He looked at her, confused. "How?" Ilari touched her chest gently, her fingers glowing faintly. "My kind. We make liquid. From body," she said slowly. "Only for our young." Logan didn't understand at first. "Food?" he asked. She nodded. "Yes. Life milk. For survival, when no food." He stared at her in shock. "You mean," she cut him off, "only if needed, only in secret. But now." She paused, eyes locking with his. "You need, or you die." Logan leaned back, stunned. He had heard rumors about some alien species producing nutrition fluids, but never imagined this. She was offering part of herself, something sacred, and from her voice it was clear. This was not a small thing. To her kind, it was almost forbidden. He hesitated. "I can't ask you to do that," he said, voice low. "You not ask," she replied. "I give." A long silence stretched between them. Logan felt heat rise to his face, not from shame but from desperation. He could already feel his vision dimming slightly. 2 hours had turned into less than one. His heart pounded as he nodded. "Okay, but only if you're sure." Aolari leaned forward slowly, her body glowing more now. Her breathing changed, slower, more focused. She guided his hand gently to her side, where the warmth came from. His hands trembled. She whispered, "Drink, and don't look away." As he took the first sip, he felt heat flood his chest, like sunlight spreading inside him. The taste was sweet, unlike anything he had known, and in that moment, the fear began to fade. Not just his, but hers too. When he pulled back, his hands shaking, he looked at her face. She was smiling, softly. "You live now," she said weakly. "But something has changed." Logan didn't understand, not yet, but something deep inside told him. Their bond had only just begun, and this dark place was about to reveal even more secrets. Logan sat back, breathing deeply. The warmth from Aolari's gift still burned softly in his chest. His vision was clearer now, his limbs steady again, but something felt different. Not just inside his body, but in the way she looked at him, like a barrier had broken. Aolari stayed silent for a while, her fingers tracing faint symbols in the dust beside her. He watched her movements, careful, graceful, almost like a dance. Finally she spoke. "My kind, we not show this to others." Logan tilted his head. "You mean the milk?" She nodded slowly. "Life milk comes only in fear, danger, or strong emotion." Logan frowned. "But you weren't scared of me," he said. Her eyes met his, glowing softly in the dark. "I was," she whispered, "but not of you, of what this means." He didn't understand. Aolari pointed at her chest. "When a male drinks, it marks the bond." Logan blinked. "What kind of bond?" She hesitated, then answered, "Like chosen mate." The air in the tunnel felt heavier suddenly. Logan's breath caught. "That wasn't just survival for you?" he asked, voice low. She shook her head. "No, it changes something in both." He looked down at his hands, then back at her. "But we barely know each other." "Yes," she replied, "but now the knowing begins." Before he could say more, a deep groan echoed through the stone around them. Not like the first quake, this was something else. A strange hum vibrated the walls. Aolari's glow dimmed instantly, her eyes wide. "They're coming," she whispered. Logan tensed. "Who's coming?" She didn't answer, just turned her head toward the narrow crevice in the rocks. Her voice trembled. "This place. Not just cave, it's sacred." Logan followed her gaze, heart racing. "Sacred?" She nodded. "Old chamber. Prison. Where the forgotten were left." "Prison?" he repeated. "For your people?" She nodded again. "My kind once sealed monsters here, those Wallen. How broke the oldest laws." Now Logan was fully alert. "You mean we're stuck in a place full of ancient criminals?" Aolari's voice dropped to a whisper. "Worse, their spirits still linger, and some never died." The air grew colder. Even Logan could feel it now, like something watching them from deep in the dark, not with eyes, but hunger. He checked his gear. One flare left, half a knife, cracked helmet. Not enough, but he wasn't alone anymore. And Aolari, she was more than she appeared. He looked at her seriously. "Tell me the truth," he said. "Is something else alive down here?" She didn't speak right away. Then she whispered, "Yes. And it's not happy we're here." Logan stared into the shadows ahead. Whatever had trapped them might not be a natural accident, and if Aolari was right, the real danger hadn't even begun yet. Logan lit his last flare. A wave of red-orange light pushed back the shadows just enough to reveal the broken path ahead. Rocks, bones, and strange symbols lined the floor, but the air, it felt heavy, like it carried memories, dark ones, Elari stayed close behind, limping slightly, but moving better than before. She looked pale, her glow weaker. Logan offered his arm, but she shook her head. "I must walk," she said, "or the bond won't hold." He didn't understand, but now wasn't the time to argue. They stepped deeper into the tunnel, each footstep echoing louder than the last. Something wasn't right. The flare flickered, the air buzzed like invisible insects were crawling across his skin. Then, a cry, distant but clear, not human, not alien, just broken, a sound of something ancient and angry. Logan froze. Elari did too, eyes wide. "It woke," she whispered, her voice trembling. Logan turned to her. "What is it?" She didn't answer, just said, "We must hide." They ducked into a narrow alcove behind a fallen stone just in time. From the shadows ahead, something moved. It was huge, taller than any being Logan had seen. Its skin was cracked stone, glowing from inside like magma. It didn't walk. It slithered. Its mouth never closed. Its breath hissed like wind through teeth. Logan held his breath. Elari placed her hand over his heart. His pulse was racing. "It senses fear," she whispered. "Stay calm." He tried, but the thing paused, sniffing the air. Then it turned and disappeared down another tunnel. They didn't move until the sound faded. Logan finally let out a breath. "What was that thing?" "One of the cursed," she said, "left behind by my ancestors. It feeds on energy, fear, and life." Logan clenched his fists. "If it finds us again, we're done." Elari nodded slowly. "There's one chance," she said softly, "but it will hurt me." He turned to her. "What do you mean?" She sat down on a flat stone, eyes closing. "If I give you more life milk, you can run faster, see better, stay alive." Logan stared at her. "You're already weak." "Yes," she said, "but if you die, I die too." He frowned. "What?" "The bond," she explained. "It links our energy. Your death would take me too." Logan knelt beside her. He didn't want to do this again, not like this, but she reached for him, guiding his hand again. "No shame," she whispered. "Only survival." He drank carefully, feeling the warmth spread again, stronger this time. But Elari gasped, her glow flickering violently. She collapsed in his arms, shivering. He held her close, heart pounding. "You saved me again," he said. "Now it's my turn." Logan stood, lifting her gently. Somewhere in the dark, the cursed thing howled again, but Logan's eyes were glowing now, and this time, he wouldn't run. Logan walked carefully, carrying Elari in his arms. Her body was lighter than he expected, almost weightless, but every now and then, her eyes fluttered open, glowing dim blue. She didn't speak, just watched him like she was holding on to the last bit of strength. The flare had burned out. Now only Elari's faint body glow lit the tunnel around them. Logan didn't know where he was going, only forward. He had to believe there was an exit somewhere, some crack, some ladder, some forgotten tunnel, anything. As he turned a sharp corner, he stopped. The walls were different here, smoother, almost polished, and they were covered in markings, not just scratches, but messages, carvings, pictures. He stepped closer. Symbols formed in rows, spiraling like stories on a scroll. He couldn't read them, but Elari could. He gently set her down and tapped her shoulder. "Can you read this?" She sat up slowly, fingers brushing the stone. Her eyes widened as she read silently. Then she spoke, voice weak but clear. "This is a warning." Logan looked closer. "What kind of warning?" Her fingers pointed at the top carving, a figure like her own species chained in a circle, glowing lines around them. "These were the first bond breakers," she said. "Powerful ones, who gave their milk not out of love, but greed." He blinked. "What does that mean?" She looked at him, eyes darker now. "When someone drinks too much, without proper heart, the giver loses control." Logan felt a chill. "You mean you could lose control?" She nodded. "Change form, become something else." The next carving showed creatures with wild eyes, wings of flame, and long claws. They looked nothing like Elari, but they wore the same necklace she had around her throat. He stepped back. "Why are these here?" she whispered. This was where they were buried, sealed forever. Logan looked around, then realized these HFY L's weren't just carved, they were part of a door, a huge circular door with symbols like locks. Someone had built this place to trap something inside, but now, the cracks were visible. The seal had been broken. Logan turned to Aelari. You said this place was sacred. She nodded. But if something escaped, what happens now? Her eyes filled with fear. Then the cycle starts again. He helped her stand. We need to leave, he said. She looked at the walls, then whispered, if I give you more, I might change. He looked into her eyes. I don't care what form you take. Just stay alive. She stared at him, lips trembling. No one had ever said that to her before, not even her own kind. Suddenly, a new sound echoed through the tunnel. Not a roar. This time, it was a voice, low, broken, and speaking her language. Aelari froze. That's not possible, she said. Logan gripped a metal shard in his hand. Who is it? She looked at him with dread. My sister, the first to ever break the bond. The voice echoed again, slow and sharp like broken glass scraping stone. Aelari stood still, her knees shaking, her glow flickering like a dying flame. Logan moved closer, his hand holding the shard of metal like a dagger. He had heard many alien languages before. This one chilled him. It wasn't just words. It was pain, twisted into speech. She said my name, Aelari whispered. Logan frowned. Your sister's alive down here? Aelari didn't answer. She just stared into the black tunnel ahead. I watched her die, a long time ago. The air shifted, a wave of pressure rolling past them like something large had taken a breath. Then came the howl. Not a voice, not a beast, something in between, a cry filled with hunger and grief. It made Logan's knees weak, his heart pound. He looked at Aelari, who gripped the wall to stay standing. She was the first to give her milk to a human, Aelari said quietly. But the bond was broken before it was complete. Logan felt cold creep up his spine. What happened to the human? Dead, Aelari said, eyes distant. And my sister changed into something that cannot die. A gust of wind swept through the tunnel, not natural, not air. It carried whispers. Logan heard them. Drink, feed, bond, break. He shook his head, trying to block the voices. Aelari held her hands to her ears. She's near, she cried. She's inside the walls. They ran as fast as they could. Logan held Aelari's arm while she limped beside him, twisting turns, sharp corners, slippery stone, and behind them, the sound of claws dragging on rock, slow and steady. At last they reached a dome-shaped chamber, ancient and half-collapsed. In the center was a pool, clear, glowing, sacred. Aelari collapsed beside it, gasping. This water, it's healing, she said. Logan dipped his fingers in and splashed her face. Her breathing slowed, but the sound of the claws didn't. They had on. Life seconds, Aelari looked up at him, eyes glowing bright again. I can stop her, she said, but I need to finish the bond. Logan blinked. You mean drink again? Yes, she said, but this time, completely. He hesitated. What happens to you? She looked away. I may not stay who I am. He took her hand. Then I'll stay with whoever you become. Tears formed in her glowing eyes. No one's ever said that to me. The tunnel behind them shook. A black shape appeared in the arch, tall, sharp, glowing with rage. Logan didn't wait. He turned to Aelari and nodded. I trust you. As she guided him one last time, the pool shimmered beside them, and the creature in the tunnel growled louder, because it knew the bond was about to be complete, and it feared what that meant. Logan's lips touched her glowing skin once more, but this time, it wasn't just about survival. It was trust, it was connection, and something far deeper that neither of them could explain. Aelari's body trembled under his touch, not from fear, but from transformation. She gasped, and her back arched slightly as her glow spread outward, pulsing with light that danced along the walls like fireflies. The moment the final drop passed his lips, the ground shook again, harder than before. The pool beside them rippled violently, and Aelari collapsed into his arms. Aelari! Logan shouted, holding her tight. Her skin was burning hot now, her veins glowing gold instead of blue. Her eyes fluttered open, but they were different. No longer soft and round, but sharp, cat-like. Her voice was layered, as if two voices were speaking at once. "It is done," she whispered. "The bond is sealed." Then she screamed, loud, long, and piercing. Her scream wasn't pain, it was release. Energy burst from her chest like a wave of heat, throwing Logan backward. He hit the ground hard, gasping. When he looked up, Ilari wasn't standing anymore. She was floating, her body surrounded by rings of golden light. Her hair now shimmered like stardust, moving without wind. From her back, soft shapes began to stretch. Wings, not of feathers, but of light and energy. Logan could only stare. "You're evolving," he whispered. She looked down at him, sadness in her glowing eyes. "This form is rare," she said. "Only when a bond is full and the heart is true." He stood slowly, unsure if he was dreaming. "Are you still you?" he asked. She floated down and touched his face. "I'm more," she said gently. "But yes, I'm still yours." But the moment shattered. A snarl came from the tunnel, sharp and furious. The dark figure of her sister appeared, larger now, feeding off the power Ilari had released. Her body twisted. Broken wings dragging, mouth dripping black energy, Ilari stepped forward, glowing wings spreading wide. "You are not welcome, sister," she said firmly. The corrupted creature snarled. "You gave it all to a human. You broke your vow." Logan felt the weight of those words. This wasn't just family. This was betrayal, war, and history all colliding. Ilari looked over her shoulder. "Stay behind me," she whispered. "You gave me strength. Now I return it." Her hands rose, golden light forming into sharp blades of pure energy. The corrupted sister shrieked and lunged. The tunnel shook again, this time from the power of two ancient beings colliding. Logan stumbled back, watching light and shadow tear across the chamber. He didn't know how to help, but he knew one thing. Ilari wasn't the same girl he had found in the rubble. She had become something more, and she was fighting for both of them. Lightning made of light and shadow cracked through the ancient chamber. The air twisted with every strike, throwing sparks from the glowing pool. Ilari's wings swept wide, catching the enemy's blow in a burst of gold. But her sister was fast, unnatural, twisted by years of corruption. Logan backed into the wall, heart pounding. He wasn't trained for this. He was just an engineer from Earth. Yet here he stood, watching two alien beings fight like gods underground. Ilari's feet never touched the ground now. She moved like light, graceful, powerful, untouchable. But Logan could see her energy fading. Each strike dimmed her glow just a little more. He gripped the sharp metal shard still in his hand. No plan, no armor, just the thought. If she falls, we both die. The corrupted sister let out a furious scream. Her voice shattered parts of the chamber ceiling, sending rocks crashing down. One slammed near Logan, nearly pinning his foot. He jumped away just in time, but Ilari wasn't so lucky. A shadow tendril wrapped around her ankle, yanking her midair. She slammed against the wall with a dull cry. Her wings flickered, one of them broken at the base. "No!" Logan shouted, rushing forward without thinking. The monster hissed and turned to him. "You!" it snarled. "You broke her." Before he could move, black claws slashed toward him. Ilari's body collided into the attack, shielding him with her own. Blood, not red but silver, spilled across the floor. She coughed, eyes weak. "I told you, we are bonded." Logan fell to his knees beside her. Her body trembled in pain. He held her hand tight. "You can't die." "Not now." Her eyes opened just a little. "There is one last way," she whispered, "but it will awaken something in you." He frowned. "In me?" She touched his chest, right above his heart. The bond doesn't only change the giver. And then she did something he didn't expect. She pulled him into a kiss, soft and full of light. In that moment, something clicked inside him. The walls lit up. His body pulsed with warmth. A ring of glowing light formed around him, symbols from the ancient stones branded across his skin like fire. He gasped as energy poured through him. Not alien, not human, but something new, something made of both. The monster roared in fury, sensing the change. It lunged again. But Logan rose, eyes now glowing gold. He raised his hand, not in fear, but in power. A wave of light burst from his chest, slamming into the creature and hurling it back into the wall. It screamed, shattered stone raining down as it vanished into the dark cracks. Silence returned. Ellery looked up at him, weak but smiling. "You are more than human now." Logan nodded, kneeling beside her. "And you are not alone anymore." The dust slowly settled over the cracked chamber. Chunks of stone glowed faintly with golden veins where Logan's energy had scorched the walls. Silence returned, not peaceful, but heavy, like the earth was holding its breath. Logan knelt beside Ellery, cradling her in his arms. Her glow was faint now, her wings limp, but her eyes, still bright, still watching him. "I thought I lost you," he said softly. "You did not," she whispered. "You just found more than me." He looked down at his hands, symbols still burned into his skin. They pulsed like a second heartbeat. "I feel different." Ellery nodded slowly. "The bond is full now, complete." "But what am I?" Logan asked. She smiled faintly. "You are what my people feared. A bridge." A sharp crack echoed through the chamber wall, then another. Not danger, this time something different. Stone shifted, revealing a narrow spiral tunnel leading upward. Air rushed in, fresh, cool, and real. Ellery gasped, her body leaning into the breeze. "That's the exit," she whispered. Logan helped her stand. She could barely walk, her form still weakened, but she didn't fall. Together, step by step they climbed. The tunnel narrowed, twisted, and sloped upward like it was made to test their will. Every step took more effort, but above them was freedom. Sunlight, soft and golden, began to peek through the cracks. As they reached the final stone doorway, they stopped. A strange circular seal blocked the way, ancient symbols dancing across it. Ellery pressed her hand to it. Nothing happened. "I'm not who I was," she said sadly. "The door does not know me anymore." Logan stepped forward. The symbols on his skin began to glow brighter as he reached for the stone. The seal reacted, symbols aligning and spinning like a lock being undone. A loud chime rang out as the stone rolled open. A rush of fresh air blasted through, and golden light poured. Down the tunnel, Ellery shielded her eyes. "You opened it." Logan looked at her. "Maybe it's because I'm the bridge," she smiled weakly. "Maybe it's because you believe." They stepped into the sunlight, blinking at the wide sky above. They stood on the edge of a green valley surrounded by cliffs, far from the station. Logan looked back at the tunnel, then at Ellery. "Will they accept us now?" She didn't answer right away. Then she said, "They will fear what we became." He nodded. "Then let them fear, or learn." A soft hum rose in the distance. Ships, vehicles, voices, search teams were nearby. Logan turned to her. "What do we say?" She leaned on him. "We tell the truth." He wrapped his arm around her gently. "If they ask why I survived, I'll tell them it's because of you." Ellery looked up. "No," she said softly. "You survived because we became something new, together." And behind them, the tunnel of rebirth slowly closed, not in destruction, but in peace, like it had finally fulfilled its purpose. The sky was open above them, blue, endless, and full of wind. For a long time, Logan just stood there, his feet on solid ground, arms around Ellery. He had thought he would never see sunlight again, and yet here he was, changed, alive, and no longer alone. Ellery leaned into his side, her wings hidden now beneath a long cloak made from field cloth. Her glow had faded to something gentle, like moonlight before dawn, but her presence was stronger than ever. She was not the same girl who had whispered in the dark, and Logan was no longer just human. In the distance, a search ship hovered over the valley ridge. A team of humans and aliens spotted them and ran forward. Logan raised his hand slowly. Weapons weren't drawn, but eyes were wide, shocked, confused, afraid. One of the officers stepped forward, a woman in a silver command suit. "Logan Carter?" she asked, voice sharp. He nodded. "We thought you were dead," she said. What happened down there?" Logan looked down at Ellery, then back at the officer. "We survived," he said, "but not because of equipment or luck. He paused. We survived because of her. All eyes turned to Aelari. She didn't flinch, just stepped forward slowly. Gasps rose among the crew. She's transformed, someone whispered. She's one of them, said another. No, Logan said firmly. She's more than that. The officer eyed them carefully. And what are you now, Logan? He didn't smile, but his voice was calm. I don't know, he said, but I'm alive because she trusted me. And I trusted her. Aelari finally spoke, her voice soft but steady. We were two kinds. Now we are one bond. Some of the alien scientists stepped forward slowly, scanning her form. One of them, older, bent down on one knee, not in fear, but in respect. The bond of light and life, he whispered. We thought it was just myth. Logan frowned. What does that mean? The elder looked up. It means, you two are the first to succeed where others failed. Another scientist approached. She should be studied, he said. Logan stepped protectively in front of Aelari. She's not an experiment, he said coldly. She's my partner. There was silence. Then slowly the elder alien nodded. We do not cage what we do not understand. We listen. Over the next hours, they were taken to a healing ship. Logan's body was scanned, his vitals stable but altered. Aelari was placed under light care, but no one touched her without permission. In the quiet of the ship, Logan sat beside her as the stars appeared outside the window. He took her hand gently. What happens now, he asked. She looked at him, glowing faintly again. We begin, she said. No more hiding. He nodded, smiling softly. No more darkness. And as the ship rose into the sky, leaving the valley behind, the galaxy around them slowly turned, ready for something new.